So this is Soup or Supernova or Nova or whatever you want to call me. I'm trying something new. Not that I post that much anyways, but I'm trying just yapping and seeing. It's kind of like a draw with me session. I'm thinking about maybe calling this like Talking Tuesday. Tuesdays work pretty well for me, so I think it would be pretty easy to make. And I'm currently trying a lot of different types of videos, so you'll definitely have to tell me if you like this. And I have no idea how long it's gonna last. So we'll see together. So right now I'm just working on my comic. Again, I'm always working on my comic nowadays because I'm trying to finish working on it before the end of the year, because I've been working on it since the middle of 2022, so it's been nearing 3.5 years, and I really want to finish it so that I can work on my other stories as well. So that's my main focus right now. But I will say I didn't expect having my own comic to be such a big time, like, oh, I'm forgetting words, a time drain, because, I don't know, it's very fun, and I'm glad I'm doing it, because I've wanted to make comics for a while now. Surprisingly, not for the longest time, because before, like, I kept my drawing and my writing separate, and I don't know, I never thought about bringing them together, but really, I think making comics is just great for me. So I think I want to go into comic making a little more. It won't necessarily be what I do for a job. I've thought about it, but I don't think I would be able to do something like that, like on that type of schedule. I want to do it for fun, and I do want to publish my comics eventually, like traditionally. That's why I'm doing this in a traditional format, not like my webcomic format. But yeah, it's been a dream of mine for couple years now, pretty much since I started Doomlight. And I will say, I know for a fact that my webcomic is lacking compared to a lot of other webcomic artists and comic artists in general. I have some really good comic artist friends. Honestly, all my comic artist friends are amazing, and I know they probably don't think about it that much, but they really are amazing. I love you guys. But compared to them, I'm not the best with composition, with different perspectives, with drawing backgrounds, compelling storyline. I'm working on that. I don't think I'm as good as them. And also with the colors, because color schemes, oh, how do they do it so well? I'm gonna have to show you a couple of my comic artist friends' works because they're amazing. But yeah, sometimes I feel pretty confident about Doomlight, and I will say I've been really liking Doomlight recently, my comic. But there are other times where I just feel like it's lacking so much. Like, I literally decided on this comic like the day I started working on it, and I was just trying to do one that's short, and I hadn't really developed any of the story beforehand, so I was literally just writing it as I went. I did have an idea from an existing story I had started to make, but really this was all spontaneous, and I did not exactly know what I was doing, which is completely fine. I want to say there's only one way to learn enough about comic making, and that is by starting your own comic, no matter how good or bad it is. You just need to start it, and it can be your practice comic. You can decide not to show it to anyone, just make it, and then you'll see more tangibly what you need to work on and what your comic looks like. Otherwise, it's all just concepts. So that's my word of advice, because if I never started Doomlight, if I had waited until I felt pretty confident with my comic art, I would have kept doing page tests for comics, and I don't think I would have made my own comic. Just deciding on one and working on it and deciding I am not going to give up. That was the big thing. Because no matter how much I hated Doomlight sometimes, I knew that I had made the choice that I was going to do this to the end. I was not going to give up halfway through on Doomlight. And I am so glad, because a lot of my friends love Doomlight, and I didn't know how many of them did, honestly. And I guess that brings me to another point, like, you need community with whatever you do. Whether you're a comic artist starting out, or you want to write, or just draw, maybe animate, you need to find other people that are just as motivated as you. Maybe in a different but similar art path, or like in the same one. Doesn't matter, as long as they encourage you through working on theirs, and they encourage you to work on yours as well. Even if it isn't just with words, like, just by them doing it, it'll motivate you. Like, hey, they're doing it, so you can do it too. That was one thing I didn't expect to be such a help. I've been working on a panel challenge. I literally just compete against my comic artist friends to see who makes the most panels in a given period of time, and I've been trying to make even more of those recently, so I can draw all of Doomlight by the end of this year. But it's amazing because they're so confident on their artwork, at least that's what it feels like, and they're so motivated too. So it really motivates me, because when I don't really feel the most like working on my comic, and I'm just in an echo chamber of my own thoughts, like, that does not motivate me. It only discourages me. But when I talk to my friends about it, or when I see them working so hard on their comic, and I see that they're like small comic artists like me, and they're maybe not like professional level, although some of them really seem like that, like, it really encourages me, because if they can do it, I can do it too. And I really hope I'm that same inspiration to them. And that's, like, with the panel challenge right now, we have 9 people. So we got 9 people all working on their comics at the same time, no matter what. And it just, I think it builds motivation for all of us. I have to say, community is the best thing. I've also been thinking about starting an art club. I have not done it yet. I really want to, but like an in-person art club, because that will also give a lot of community, and it's a more tangible sense of community, although it is more of a time, it's more of a commitment as well. Like, you have to make sure that you do it regularly, especially if you're the one starting the art club, which I would have to be, because I don't think there's any art clubs around here, small town. But yeah, since I know how much community helps me and how much it can help others, that's really important to me. Yeah, with Doomlight, I have to say, sometimes I hate Doomlight. I, like, literally hate it. I'm like, this is such a terrible story premise. This feels like a children's comic. I do not like it. I don't think it has much depth in its story. But if you channel that to the right place, you'll begin to make it better and make it fit in. At least that's what happened for me. I will say there are still a lot of times where I feel like I could really improve on Doomlight. It's by no means the best. But I have to say, if you think about some medias, I can't think of any examples really, but for example, Sword Art Online, there are some stories that really lack depth and good writing in them. But people still say, like, that's one of their favorite medias. So, really, what's keeping your comic from being not necessarily the best comic that's ever been written, but still being a lot of people's favorites? Just saying. Because that's one thing I've had to learn over and over again. Because I never thought that would be really possible, at least with mine. But yeah, I have to say, it's weird how many mindset shifts I've had. I think it's amazing because I've been able to notice them, first of all, and I've just been able to help my mindset shift. Like, I was doing it consciously sometimes and other times not, but if you care enough about being motivated to make something you really want to do, then I think you can actually play a hand in it yourself. And I just think that's really cool. And I don't know actually if people actually do that other than me. I know some people probably do. I just don't know how common it is. I think it should be more common. But I also want people to be completely real about themselves and everything. I like the, authenticity. So, I don't know where I was going with that. But I have to say, I've been loving my art lately. Like, it kind of goes up and down, but like this, I love it. Okay. Oh yeah. So as it stands right now, there are like 17 weeks left in the year. And I have about 12 episodes left of Doomlight to make. Thankfully, I've already made the script for all of them. I worked on that like 2 weeks ago when I was taking a mandatory break from working on my comic, like drawing it for a week, which was very funny. It was actually very hard. But I'm very glad I did that, because otherwise I wouldn't know exactly how it ends, and I wouldn't give myself a breather because burnout is real. And now it did take me a while to get back into the flow of working on my comic, but now I'm back. It is possible, because sometimes it's really hard to work on my comic, especially like a year and more ago, because I struggled to work on it, like to keep working on it regularly, and sometimes I still do, but like now it's just part of my life, part of my habits, part of my, keep forgetting words, part of my lifestyle. Yeah. But if you are gonna work on a comic, it is a huge time crunch. Like, you are gonna be spending so much time on your comic, and if you want to make sure that you update it regularly, then it's going to be like 90% comic art and then 10% all other art that you're going to be working on, most likely, because that's a lot of drawing. And then you also have to think about ways to protect your posture and your hand. I probably don't do that as much as I need to, but like sometimes your hand can get pretty tight, your posture can get pretty stiff. You actually need to make decisions that help your posture and your hand health. One of the things I did was I got a tablet stand. Right now that tablet stand is holding my phone up, actually. So I'm using two library book mangas as a stand for this tablet. And it works, but it's not necessarily ideal. But make sure you protect your posture and your hand, and you stretch every like 30 or so minutes. I don't do that all the time. I really should. And I really need to start stretching more regularly, like whole body stretches, because I do enjoy them, and I really do want to become flexible, because right now I'm not flexible in any means. But yeah, just finding a way to put it into your habit. I know that's probably been said so many times, but find a way to fit it into your habit in a very low, what's the word? Like, make sure it's easiest to do it and hardest to actually not do it. Make sure it's super hard to avoid doing whatever it is, and just make it super easy comparatively to do the thing. Like, I don't know, I can't think of any examples right now. Multitasking. But yeah. Oh, and one thing I've noticed, I knew I had a lot of stories and a lot of characters. I just didn't know, like, the extent. So I just have so many stories that I want to write and possibly turn into comics after Doomlight. That's one of the motivators for actually finishing Doomlight, I have to say, so that I can work on others. Because I have at least 9 other stories that are in varying degrees of finished. Some I finished the first draft of, thanks to NaNoWriMo, because I write a little as well. Others I've made a sizable amount of the first draft. Others I'm only just starting. And there are others that I haven't even started writing. I just have ideas or just like vibes. Like I'm going off of vibes, which I love, but it's so funny to me. I do have a story set aside that I want to do next after I finish Doomlight. It's called The Cards right now. I am thinking about changing the name because it was just called The Cards because I was basing them off of playing cards. So like the different suits and the different face cards and stuff. I need to find a way to put that into my story a little bit more when I end up writing it, because right now there's not much of that in that story. But let me think. I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's lost. It's hard concentrating on multiple things at the same time. Life of an artist. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was talking about my story. I don't know what exactly I was saying, but also, like, my story, it has, I've only had some ideas. I haven't started writing down the story. I have, just notes about what I want to add to it, so I have a pretty good idea of how it'll go. I just haven't written down any of the story actually, and honestly it's a pretty good idea, pretty good thing that I'm not working on writing it down right now while I'm focusing on Doomlight. That would probably be disastrous, really. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, right now it's been weird concentrating on my comic because I've also had family over for the past nearing a week, and so I've been working on spending time with them, but then other times I have to like set aside time to work on my comic pretty much every day, because right now that's what I need to do in order to finish my comic by the end of the year, because I need to work on about 1 episode each week, get them out there like that, because I know it's going to get more busy around Christmas time, and then I won't be able to push out 1 episode each week. But it's been really nice having family over, actually, and I think it's good to take a mandatory break every now and then, as long as it isn't like every other week. Unless that is what you need starting out, then go ahead, but I would say push yourself, because the more you get into the zone, the easier it is to keep up with that. But something I heard, I forget from what, but it's easier to stick to doing certain things and to not get burnt out and stuff. When you're also working on other things as well. So the more things you balance together, the more productive you actually are with even just one thing. As long as you don't take it to the extreme, because that's bad too. Like, right now, I am limiting myself to mostly working on my comic and also just doing work because I have a job. Woo! And then also spending some time with my family. So those are my main focuses, but I'm also focusing on the side. Like, I have some sewing ideas because I sew every now and then, and I have ideas for outfits and stuff, and I don't want to spend that much money because I am pretty broke. Oh no, it's glitching out again. My old Huion, 4 years old, R.I.P. But yeah, I honestly do not have the time commitment to work on any sewing projects right now. Maybe a little later when I have some extra time, at least I think that I would. Like, if I have a little extra time availability on my schedule, like if I have, I don't know, 12 weeks left and 6 episodes left, that would be pretty dope, but I don't know if it'll happen. But like, if I have some extra time, then I definitely want to work on my sewing projects. But that's another funny thing. I procrastinate a lot. I don't procrastinate this as much anymore, which is really nice. I used to procrastinate it all the time. I took a year-long hiatus. Trust me, I know about procrastination. But now I try to not procrastinate. But the cool thing is, by procrastinating certain things, you can actually work on other things and not procrastinate them. I love that. And that's one of my favorite things since I've learned that. So you can be productive while still procrastinating. And I love that. Like, that has been one cheat code I've started using. Because when you're procrastinating one thing and you work on another, is that really procrastination or is that smart? I think it's using my weaknesses as strengths, and I love that. That's a pro tip for if you procrastinate, I guess. In fact, I've been procrastinating working on videos, and it's actually been helping me to procrastinate on the videos. Like, it's been easier to procrastinate on the videos because I'm trying to finish Doomlight this year, and that's a really big thing. It's a really big time crunch, and just with everything happening, I have to say, I don't really work on my videos that much, but pairing it with working on my video in a very low, what's the word? I forget the word, but like low effort, yes. Working on it in a very low effort way, just, I'm sure is gonna really help. That's what I'm doing right now, and one of the reasons I chose to start this, as well as also I like yapping. The thing is, I am still very hesitant around the camera, even if I'm just recording myself. Like, it's weird to talk to myself. That's what this feels like. I'm sorry, I know you're there. It feels like I'm talking to myself still, because like there's no one else in this room, no one else at all. Which I think it would be more uncomfortable for me if there actually was someone else in the room, but anyways. I think this is gonna be the end of today's video. It takes some real energy to keep talking, and I'm looking at the time, and this video is about 25 minutes long, which I think is a pretty good length. So I think I'm gonna go for today, and hopefully I'll work on this tomorrow as well, because Tuesdays seem to be the best day to do these things. And since we're here, why don't I show you what this looks like so far? This is a sneak peek to episode 20, so I hope you enjoy it and very much treasure it. I love this drawing. It's so silly. I did not know if I should keep it because it wasn't exactly like the expression that I wanted her to have, but then my twin actually told me to keep it in, so I am. So anyways, that's all. Bye. And I almost forgot. Here, as promised, are my friends' webcomics. I probably shouldn't try to fit all of them, so here are just 4 of them. But I love them all. Okay, bye.